Hi there, you don't really know me because that's not really important. But here I am to tell you something really important about a subject that requires your attention as well as the attention of this nation's. I'm here to talk about the life of a future civil servant, a future politician, a future lawmaker, and most importantly, a future lawyer or a judge. Yes, I'm here to talk about the lives of law students. Why is it in news? Because the KSLU, that's the Karnataka State Law University, a university to which 92 law colleges and law schools are affiliated to, is planning to conduct exams from the 21st of September 2020. This video is being recorded on the 24th of August. That leaves us hardly with a time of 1 month. Now, everybody was gonna ask me that, isn't it already established that you guys are gonna have exams? Well, let me tell you this. The BCI, or the Bar Council of India, had let out official statement in one of its notifications, that is on the 27th of May 2020, that exams should be conducted only for the final semester students, and the intermediates are going to be promoted based on their internal performances or their previous year's academic performance. Now, I belong to an intermediate semester, so that is why I'm here to talk. But more importantly, I am a student who does not belong to the internal grading system, and I write a 100-marker paper. Now that doubles up the threat on an individual's life, because here I have to go ahead and sit for 3 hours and write a 100-marker paper. Now, a lot of the people who's going to watch this video is going to think that I'm trying to evade exams and I'm just trying to push the exams. No. Let me tell you for a fact that mentally, law students are always prepared that they need to write their exams within a matter of 6 months. But due to this situation, there are few aspects that are playing a key role, and you need to keep that in mind without any bias before watching this video. Firstly, 40% of the students studying under colleges affiliated to KSLU belong to the states outside of Karnataka. Now that includes Chhattisgarh, Chandigarh, Punjab, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, whatever and whatnot. There are a few students studying in my college who belong to the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands. Do you really think it is safe for them to travel in this situation? Now, mind you, it is compulsory that they stay for a 14-day quarantine period in one of the institutional quarantines or home quarantines. Now, in this process, they are not only going to jeopardize their own lives, but also the lives of this very state, because they are going to be traveling in from outside and they might be possibly carrying certain infectious viruses. Most importantly, it's a direct threat to their lives as lives of others. The Constitution of India provides protection for my life under Article 21. And this is clear violation of that. When the BCI has an upper hand and it has already declared that the exams shouldn't be conducted for the intermediate students, the KSLU is conducting. Now you might ask that the BCI might have guided KSLU, and KSLU has also taken a stance that it has been guided by BCI, and not conducting examinations would be clear violation of its guidelines. Now let me tell you, Guwahati State Law University has already declared on the 22nd of this month that it will be promoting its students, more specifically the intermediate students, based on the grading system from the previous years as well as the internal assessment. One state is doing that, why can't our state do it? Now, my motive here is not to defame the government, not defame the university or anything else. I'm just trying to put out the facts out there so that you can understand. The main claim that the university makes that it has provided for online education system. Now let me tell you, India stands at a ranking of 78 in the global scale when it comes to internet connectivity, which was conducted recently by global forums. So which means to say that there is not a proper connectivity of internet from one place to another. Let's know in other states, I'm talking about my own state, there are certain regions where students come in from and study who cannot access the internet. This common perception of everybody having the internet because you live in an urban jungle is clearly wrong, and it's clearly one-sided, which you need to let go. In physical classes, we used to talk to our teachers and understand what the concepts were. We used to get real life examples. But based on the web meeting platforms, we cannot really interact with the teachers as freely as we used to. Yes, I admit that we need to change with the changing times. But no, I'm not going to change to the point where I don't understand anything and I'm still going to say yes. I really respect the efforts put in by the teachers because they really have followed the protocols and really have put that extra effort to make sure that the students understand each and every concept properly. But sadly, let me tell you, there is a time limit and a time constraint on each and every web meeting platform, which usually used to be jammed because of the multiple people logging in and out. So technically and practically speaking, law is a practical subject and it cannot be that easily conquered just by knowledge online. A lot of people have also commented stating that you could acquire knowledge based on the internet platform, which is absolutely wrong. Let me tell you, even if we law students have a simple debate, we do not rely on the internet for all the information, whereas we sit and study. Now that brings to my another point, because have you seen the law books? Have you ever taken out an AIR and held it physically? It is this big. One book is this big and we have to study volumes of it. And how do you do that? Basically going to libraries. And do you really think during this lockdown we were able to access the libraries and sit and study? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this fact. We have not been able to prepare notes. We have not been able to sit and study. We have barged in on multiple resources, but trust me, that is not enough to tell that I'm competent enough to go out there in a court and talk to the judge with the same confidence and the same conviction that I had when I was physically present. We need to understand that we live in distressful times. And in these distressful times, people need to be understanding and on the humanitarian side. But sadly, nobody is. Right now, everybody is looking at is basically finishing the exams and moving ahead, like a chapter that was never even read. But sadly, that is very wrong and it would only jeopardize and pose a threat to the lives of many. Let me tell you, people who are coming in here for a month are not even allowed in their PGs and hostels. So technically, they would be having to pay a lot of rent for the rooms. And room availability is not that great here in Bangalore. And added with that, it's going to put a financial burden who are already facing the brunt of the crisis that has been placed on the economy of this wonderful country because of the pandemic. The government, the health workers, the policemen, the fire department, the medical workers, and everybody, for a matter of fact, is working so hard to make our lives easy. And this university or this very system is basically depriving us of the same rights and of the same safety that we are fighting for. It's not really paying attention to what needs to be done. It's literally pushing us down into the system. And neither the system nor the government takes responsibility for our lives. They're not going to come in and talk to our parents or not compensating us for. As a matter of fact, they're not going to compensate us for anything. It's completely our risk. It's basically voluntary not fit injury. Technically, if I am entering the stadium, I know that the ball is going to hit me. Similarly, if I am going to write the exam, I know that the coronavirus might affect. But still, I have to take that risk and go. But why? Now, they have a wonderful solution that pay your examination fees and you might not write your exams right now and you can write it later on. But why should I jeopardize a situation or an opportunity to write or not write an examination when the BCI has clearly laid down guidelines that the examination shouldn't be conducted for the intermediate students? And secondly, it isn't my fault that the coronavirus has hit when I am in the 4th year or the 3rd year or the 2nd year or the 1st year. The government needs to understand and really needs to take measures and change its protocol that it's following. Ladies and gentlemen, I have tried reaching each and every government authority, the ministers, the officers, the bureaucrats, and everybody, professor, principals, and this isn't really working out. So if you're watching this video, your one share button, I don't know if you're watching on this on any of the social media platform, I don't know how you're going to share it, but please make sure that you are doing this much of effort in saving lives of hundreds and thousands of lives. You're not only going to save the lives, but also you're going to make sure that justice will prevail. And justice will be done. Your support will mean only one thing to the law students, that when we tomorrow come out there and work as lawyers, advocates, and judges, we will work for justice and fight for it. If today I'm not able to take a stand being a law student, then what will I do for a person who's going to trust me with his life in the court of law? This country is wonderful, but also it has faced a lot of troubles. The only that thing that the reason it has been so strong is because of the unity and because of the people's voices that have come out in the right time. In front of you is a report that I've clearly prepared for the ministry, but nobody is willing to take a look at this. Nobody is willing to pay attention to this. It clearly entails each and every problem. And the KSLU came up with these decisions even without consulting with students. I mean, how fair is that? It was just a board of members who were sitting in AC rooms and making decisions for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a law student, if you're a parent, or if you're not even a law student, my request to you is just share it. It's not going to take a lot of time. But if it does make an impact, then you will be a part of the revolution in the moment. Also, if you're a parent, sir, ma'am, just imagine if your son or daughter was in this position, what would you do? Life isn't that easy. We know that. But it doesn't mean that we should catastrophically end it because of decisions made by people who don't even really know what we're facing. That's it from my side, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. If you do like it, please share it and be a part of the moment. Jai Hind.